Well, this video is going to get me volcano level heat, but I'm ready for it. Alright guys, this one here is why I decided to ditch the Glock and go with my new EDC gun. Now to help demonstrate what I'm talking about, I'll be using the slide from my Sig Mosquito. Now not that long ago, another infamous YouTuber was testing out the G18 and he had a catastrophic failure with it. This housing that houses your guide rod on your Glock is about that thick right there. And in that video, it completely sheared off the frame and off the slide, rendering the gun completely useless. Now, it's not only that particular video, but I've seen other accounts out there on Glock where this part of the housing has got cracks and has just sheared off. I've seen literally 5-gallon bucket full of Glock slides, all with that same issue. Now to me that takes away from Glock's ultra reliability like I first thought. I'm becoming less and less of a fan. As a matter of fact, I've completely dropped the Glock. I've gotten rid of both my 27 and my 22. Which I apologize, we won't be getting the Glock 27 review video anytime soon, but I plan to make up for it. Now here's the truth and what's probably going to get me the most heat just by saying this. The truth of the matter is, I can put more faith in this Heritage revolver than I can that Glock after seeing all of this. I've never had, and I've had these pistols since I was 13 years old, and I've shot these revolvers over and over and over. I've never had a malfunction like that happen with a revolver because there's no slide like that to break. With the exception of the cheap bulk pack ammo, every time I've ever pulled the trigger on a revolver, it has gone bang. And that's what you need in a carry gun. You need ultimate reliability. And if Glocks are just going to continuously break like that, they're no longer ultra reliable in my book. Like I say, it's going to get a lot of heat. But for me, I put more faith in my concealed carry gun here, a 22 Magnum, $150 Heritage, than I do a $500 Glock. And I'm becoming more and more of a bigger fan of these 22 Magnum shells. This is a TNT CCI round. It has an advertised velocity of 2,200 feet per second. That is a lot of velocity. And the tests that I've done with this thing really deforms very well after impacting its target. Even out of this 2-inch barrel, it's still reaching expansion thresholds, and that's what you need in a good concealed carry gun. And something you're going to run hollow points in to keep from over-penetrating the target. It's ideal. Now I guess while we got this guy out here, we're going to do our final update video on it. Sort of. Alright, I've heightened the sight, I've added a white dot, I've gotten rid of the safety and replaced it with a 22 spent shell casing. And I run this thing in the John Wayne Cowboy load, which is 5 rounds loaded into the cylinder and 1 empty underneath the hammer. Moving on to my new EDC gun. My brother recently went out and got a 1911 Desert Eagle. And after seeing the way that 230 grain bullet impacted and knocked around that steel, I had to go out and get me one. Now the 45 ACP is not as effective a round at penetrating as I guess a 40 or a 9mm would be. But when it comes down to it, really for, carry caliber, I mean, that's what you really want. You want something that's not going to over-penetrate, is what I'm trying to get to. And I guess really I've taken sides here, because I've gone from a Glock to a 1911. And this guy's is a lower-end 1911. This is a Taurus. This has an MSRP of around $500 to $600. But Taurus has outdone themselves on this gun, guys. This has everything that a higher-end 1911 would have. It has a hammer-forged slide and frame. It's stainless steel. It has the front slide serrations. It has the skeletonized trigger. It has the Picatinny rail for mounting a light. It has a commander-style hammer, extended beaver tail, and ambi safeties. Now, I know some people out there are not fans of the ambis because they're afraid that they could accidentally click that off when carrying cocked and locked. But in my experience of carrying this gun for around 3 weeks now, that's not been an issue at all. This gun has not failed to fire. It has not had one single stovepipe, and sometimes that is the Achilles heel to people when it comes down to choosing 1911 over Glock. That and the round capacity. With these rounds that I have in these mags, each one of these are 8-round mags. That's 8 plus 1, that's 9 rounds, which is perfect for Joe Biden's new gun laws he's trying to get passed, but we'll see how that goes. But I can put a lot more faith in this than I can a Glock. This was designed by a true genius, John Moses Browning. Now, he really knew what he was doing when he designed this thing. This has served us through 2 world wars, all the way up through Vietnam, all the way until 1985. Heck, there are special forces out there and SWAT teams that are still carrying the 1911 to this day. And I'm starting to really understand why. Guys, I've carried both the 1911 and the Glock. I've carried multiple Glocks. I've had all 3 of the 40 caliber Glocks that they have out there, with the exception of the 34, of course. But I much prefer this 1911 over it. There's just something about the heft to this pistol, and the long barrel, and the sheer accuracy that this thing has, and that trigger just breaks so perfectly. And it's adjustable. To me, you can't really beat it. It's a big bore caliber, and it's extremely accurate. That's one of the reasons I carry 22 in the first place. It's its accuracy. With that 22 revolver, the truth of the matter is, up to 15 yards and maybe out as far as 20, when it comes down to it, I can put that 22 caliber Magnum bullet anywhere I need to with almost pinpoint precision. And that's what you should demand and ask for out of your carry gun, regardless of caliber. It's all about your shot placement. At least that's my opinion on the subject. Now, I know I'm going to get volcano level heat for choosing a Heritage Rough Rider over a Glock when it comes to a carry gun. But guys, that's the real way I feel about it. That is my real opinion. Now, I'm not dissing Glock, totally here. Glock up until, well, not even up until, it still is an extremely, extremely reliable gun. But for me, I just cannot get over how that thing sheared off. If that were to happen, in a life and death situation, your gun would be rendered totally useless. It'd be a paperweight at that point. You might as well throw it at somebody. And I don't really see that happening with the 1911. Number one, this is far too thick of steel for that to just shear off. But number two, it also comes down to the way that the 1911 is designed with that bushing system. I mean, the only thing that could shear off, I guess, would be the bushing. And that's pretty tough steel. I don't see it happening. But I guess anything's possible. But there you go, guys. These are the guns that I carry every day. These are my EDC guns. My 1911 Taurus and my Heritage Rough Rider and 22 Magnum. I hope you guys found the video at least entertaining. Everybody out there's got their own guns that they'll have to find what suits them and what they trust their life to. Now, what I trust my life to and what you trust your life to may be 2 very different things. As a matter of fact, I hope they are. I hope that you find a gun out there that is just perfect for you, for your carry. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, is your confidence in your weapon and in your ability with that weapon, regardless of caliber. But like I say, for my money, I trust these far more than I do a Glock. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.